Hello, and welcome to Select 10. 5 months into 2024, there are already a ton of the greatest new web series that have opened doors to a world of suspense, wonder, and amazing storytelling. From interesting epic dramas to mind-blowing sci-fi to unusual comedies, this year's selection delivers high-quality entertainment and remarkable adventures that will undoubtedly surprise you. While there are a few other wonderful shows, such as Baby Reindeer, none of them made it onto this list of these top 10. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Criminal Record. It is a 2024 crime thriller drama created by Paul Ruttman. The narrative centers on a pair of detectives, one experienced and the other not so much. Their everyday lives shift when they get a private call that reopens a long-forgotten homicide investigation. As they go farther, their opposing methods and inner demons surface, transforming their partnership into a vicious competition. While fighting systemic corruption, they face numerous challenges and refuse to give up their pursuit of the hidden truth. The story is packed with shocking turns and breathtaking instances, but what really draws the audience in is the investigator's psychological mind battle. It breaks away from traditional crime dramas and creates a unique identity through a network of intertwined stories. It's ultimately a suspenseful thriller with a multi-layered story and unrelenting tension that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Number 9. Renegade Nell. It is a historical fantasy action-adventure series directed by Ben Taylor, Amanda Bracci, and M.J. Delaney. The protagonist of the tale is Nell Jackson, a brave young woman wrongfully accused of murder, who unintentionally rises to prominence as an English bandit in the 17th century. Along the way, Nell meets the fearless ghost, Billy Blind, who grants her magical abilities. As destiny unfolds, Nell meets Queen Anne and becomes embroiled in Europe's political conflicts. Using well-known cliches, the series combines aspects of exciting adventures, cunning political intrigue, and enthralling mythology to create a gripping and unique story. The way Louisa Harlan plays Nell gives the character more complexity by exploring issues of injustice, resiliency, and power. Renegade Nell excels in spite of the recurring magical themes, thanks to its gripping action, fascinating mysteries, and well-developed characters. Number 8. A Shop for Killers. It is a 2024 action thriller drama television series directed by Lee Kwan. The show revolves around Jeong Jian, who was orphaned and adopted by her uncle Jin Man, who owns an online store. After his untimely death, Jian finds herself in a new world where she must investigate her uncle Jeong Jin Man's shadowy background and face off against expert assassins. Faced with gunfire, drone assaults, and an unrelenting search, Jian is forced to depend on her uncle's unusual lessons to stay alive. The story takes place in Jin Man's under-attack home, interweaving memories of Jin Man's past as an assassin, as well as Jian's early years and her parents' terrible deaths. Even though the storytelling method isn't perfect, the series shines because of its engaging plot, stunning filming, and elegant action scenes. It is a highly binge-worthy show. Number 7. The Gentleman. It is an action comedy series created by Guy Ritchie. This series is a spin-off from Ritchie's 2019 film of the same title. It follows Eddie Halstead, who, after his father's death, acquires a vast 15,000-acre estate, only to discover a secret connection to the property. Criminal lord Bobby Glasses runs his profitable underground marijuana business in Eddie's state. Every episode centers on Eddie's run-ins with authorities, his battle for survival in the middle of illegal activities, and his confrontations with Bobby's daughter, Susie Glass, and other people that pose a threat to his property. Henry James plays the new Duke of Halstead quite well, while other characters do their parts well and make their presence matter. Despite its less amusing tone, the series develops into an intriguing standalone British crime drama that starts off as a sequence of desperate attempts to keep family and property safe, but eventually it takes a more confined crime thriller narrative turn. The show has a really well-chosen cast and a modern, sleek look that keep things moving in the direction of a dark but meaningful ending. Though it lacks the thrilling charm of Ritchie's movies, the series ultimately succeeds owing to the psychotic attitude that dominates it. Number 6. House of Ninjas. It is an action drama series developed by Dave Boyle. The plot revolves around the Tawara family, the successors of shinobi, who live in an ancient Japanese house of ninjas. They gave up on training and ninja activities 6 years ago when their oldest son tragically died while on an operation to free a politician. In the aftermath, their personal hardships prevent them from following the Japanese shinobi code as they seek to live a regular family life. However, after a disastrous cruise tragedy that claimed many lives and caused them to face a seemingly defeated rival clan, the family is forced to dig into their past to battle the unexpected enemy. Despite their flaws, the Tawara family has a charming and endearing dynamic that goes well with the masterfully staged ninja combat. The show manages to keep viewers interested even though it frequently uses cliches and traditions and ultimately ends in an exciting yet frightening conclusion. The show explores Japanese culture and the thrill of being a modern ninja, merging humor, family tension, and action, and it never fails to draw in audiences with its distinctive storyline. Number 5. The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live. It is a post-apocalyptic horror miniseries created by Scott M. Gimple, Dan I. Gurira, and Andrew Lincoln. The show centers on Rick and Michonne, a celebrated couple in the Walking Dead world, and their everlasting romance. The plot begins approximately 5 years later, when Rick Grimes is thought to have died defending his family from zombies. In actuality, he made it through and found himself working for the Secret Armed Branch, CRM. In the meantime, Michonne embarks on a persistent search for her husband, believing that he has survived. Following several years of secret tactics to disrupt CRM activities to meet his wife, Rick tries to change the organization from the inside. This spin-off addresses unanswered mysteries from the 11-year story of the first series, while exploring the development of a pre-apocalyptic romance within the devastation of the world's breakdown. The series solves mysteries by revealing formerly undiscovered characters who were crucial to the development of the CRM and other noteworthy events. While retaining the franchise's signature zombie action, it frequently highlights emotional depth, returning to the series' starting point. Devoted fans of the original show will find it enjoyable, while beginners may find it difficult to make sense of what's happening. Number 4. Three-Body Problem. It is a science fiction drama series based on one of the most famous book, The Three-Body Problem, by Hugh Sixon. The show tells the story in 2 distinct time periods, one centered in China during the years of the Cultural Revolution, and the other taking place in the country's modern era. In the past, a depressed scientist named Yi Wenji joined a classified government campaign to make contact with aliens. In the present, police discover a mystery virtual game and an investigation tied to scientists' deaths, implying an approaching alien attack, while current scientists and researchers rush against the clock to uncover more about the game and find a solution to stop the invaders. The series explores the effects of innovation in technology and the deadly implications of human first contact with aliens. The show has a few breathtaking action sequences, but they are not often. Although they are magnificent, they fall short of elevating the series to a whole new level. But Netflix's attempt to turn a brilliant book into an 8-hour show somehow works. The season does a good job of introducing viewers to the universe of Three-Body Problem and ends with an acknowledgement that it only lays the groundwork for a more complex, wider story. With perfect execution, future seasons might dig into the complicated topics of Liu's later books, possibly taking Three-Body Problem to new levels. Even though the last few episodes have paced slowly, the show is still good and is sure to appeal more to science fiction fans. Number 3. Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is a fantasy-adventure series and a live-action adaptation of the animated series created by Michael Dante. The show is set on a war-torn planet and revolves around people who have the ability to manage nature's 4 elements: fire, air, water, and earth. With a special gift to manipulate all 4 elements, Aang is the last living airbender and an avatar whose job it is to preserve balance between civilization and the natural world. The story commences with a fire nation destroying an air nation without realizing that one of them has survived. After a protracted hibernation, Aang awakens to the prospect of global dominance posed by the vengeful Fire Nation. Together with his new friends Katara and Sokka, he sets out on a quest to master each element and stop the Fire Nation. Together with humor, emotional nuance, and fluid action scenes, the series enthralls viewers with its breathtaking depiction of bending superpowers. The adaptation succeeds in adding an intelligent dimension to the plot while maintaining the core of the original, even though it may not be as great as the original. Also, the show is renewed for 2nd and 3rd seasons. Number 2. Fallout. It is a post-apocalyptic action series based on video game franchise created by Tim Kaine and Leonard Boyarsky. The show depicts a post-apocalyptic wasteland in which scientific achievements have given rise to a retrofuturistic civilization in a world destroyed by nuclear war. Following these occurrences, survivors take sanctuary in subterranean bunkers known as vaults, which are built to protect people from the effects of radioactive fallout. More than 2 centuries later, Lucy, an inhabitant of Vault 33, sets out on a treacherous quest to find her father, who has vanished from the vault. Along the journey, she meets a malevolent bounty hunter and a member of the mysterious Brotherhood of Steel, as they frequently cross paths in pursuit of the same goal. In every episode, Lucy discovers terrifying vault secrets and more about the outside world, which forever changes her life. The story is a lighthearted perspective on the apocalypse that revives the popular game franchise in a fresh post-apocalyptic story, loaded with plenty of action and thrills. Fallout mainly succeeds in striking a balance between silly joy and terrifying nuclear war fear, but occasionally the satire feels forced and the attempts at humor are frequently ineffective. Still, the series has substance and is a lot of fun thanks to Goggins and Ella's outstanding performances. Number 1. Shogun. It is an historical drama miniseries based on the 1975 book of the same name by James Clavell. The show is set in the 17th century and narrates the voyages of British adventurer John Blackthorne, who is shipwrecked and left stranded in Japan. Once taken prisoner by the samurai ruler Toranaga, Blackthorne gains confidence by demonstrating his skill in both fighting and transportation. Though he finds himself entangled in political games as he adjusts to Japanese society, Toranaga views him as a useful asset in his goal of becoming Japan's top commander. Shogun. All things considered, Shogun is a magnificent period epic with breathtaking cinematography, a large ensemble cast, and a grand scope. But its real power is in the way it skillfully combines grandeur with narrative and the development of characters. The action scenes and broad landscapes are impressive, but what really draws you in are the slower-paced sequences and the underlying political drama. Though there are occasional shocking acts of brutality, the core plot never leaves your attention, and it requires complete focus in order to follow its intricate story. It is undoubtedly one of the greatest shows of the past few years and should not be missed. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.